What's up, YouTube? Carton221 here, and welcome to another. Actually, no, to get the camera back to normal now. Welcome to another Company of Heroes 2 online replay. Playing as the Wehrmacht this time, along with Fry Force again. Been doing a lot of games. This is Pripyat. I'm gonna use a different commander this time. I had a specific commander I thought would be great for this map, and we'll see if it works or not. So I'm gonna be using the Joint Operations Doctrine, which gives us the recon, the pack, and the howitzers. Now, for a map like Pripyat, with the fact that this is a choke point, by the way, in case you didn't know, this is the good side of Pripyat, right? You got the fuel point, you got the high ground pretty much. So if you can hold your own on this hill, block off this choke point, block off this area, and block off this area, you're set. You know. So I make a Grenadier always first, and then I make a MG. You know, because they can kind of spam out conscripts first, that's what I like to do. I also have the perk which allows me to lay barbed wire faster. I think that's for the, it might be for the Soviets. It was like 10% faster for laying down barbed wire in mines. So we got our machine gun squad coming in here. We're going against Filet Style and Ginger Man. Now Filet Style also has the collector's edition. I figured I've just upgraded that because I knew how much I'd be playing this game, and I wanted the extra skins and the commanders, especially to kind of, maybe I'll do a little review to kind of show you guys what you'd get with that, and just kind of talk about the different commanders that are premium items for that. Like we have some of the commanders that aren't out yet for the regular people, or the regular copies. So, pretty much whoever starts in the south is kind of responsible for holding this area. Sorry about that. So pretty much whoever's in the south is responsible for holding this area and the far south there. So that's kind of my job. Anyway, so I'm going to run up my MG. I know there's some pioneers here. So it gives us heavy cover, but it's directional, so it's just from this side. Also, Fry brought up his MG. So you can see we're very heavily focusing on this area in the center first. So we're focusing on that area, and then with that area, we'll be able to take it. So we can just hold this area pretty much. We'll be able to take over this area with our two MGs and be able to hold back pretty much Russian conscripts until they get an MG. This is interesting what the Russians did here. They've already built 2 munitions caches. Now, if I had to choose between building a munitions cache and a fuel cache, always build a fuel cache. Now, unless you're using a heavy munitions doctrine, and you don't want to have early tanks and be able to defeat your opponent quickly, then yeah, go for the munitions. I think that's the first mistake here. Anyway, they're doing what's smart. They know we have MGs here to cover this area. So, they know we have at least 2, so they know they're gonna probably flank around, but guess what? I got the barbed wire. Now, Soviets cannot cut barbed wire, I do not believe, until they have... Let's go to them really quickly. Let's go to Fileo. These guys are nice too, by the way, when I said hi to them. Yeah, they cannot use wire cutters until they have the hazardous maneuver hazard removal package. Now, this is interesting. He's going to put a demo charge right here, but my guys are shooting at him, and I can see that, so I'm like, nice demo charge. It's not a demo charge, I'm sorry, it's a mine. So these are just basic mines. So I turned my MG just to kind of suppress them. I know there's some sort of mine there, so my #1 goal is I thought it was a demo charge on the bridge. So I'm going to try to launch once I get to take up to level 1, which I'm doing right now. I'm going to launch a rifle grenade right on this area and detonate that. So you see that my MG's turned and shooting at them, so they're going to try to run this way, which is a good strategy, except we had 2 MGs covering that area. Fry should really, I think he does have an MG, he's kind of covering that area. But this northern area is so much easier to defend, because in the south, you pretty much just have this area to attack and this area, and if they can just cover this area, both of them, 2 guys can cover these 3 points rather easily. I've also got a sniper up here. I'm trying to get, I think it's like 15 different snipers with 15 or more kills. and that'll help. So my main thing is just, you know, barbed wire off this area. I know it took a little while to lay down mines and stuff. That's I'm a little delayed in building the mechanized company. And yeah, I'm not doing too heavy a start, but my sniper's kind of standing in the middle of the open, picking off people. When they're in cover, they can, like, he can hide this way, but when he's in cover or whatever, he can't. When he's not in cover, he can be seen. Makes sense. I think it's better than the guy just being able to completely, you know, just be hidden like constantly. He's moving around the middle of the open. It's more realistic. Also, they're testing my defenses down here and seeing how much. I'm also moving heavy Maxim machine guns up here. I mean, alright, I just detonated the rifle grenade on that mine there placed, so wasted munitions. I guess they are getting, see how much munitions they're getting. They're getting 52 munitions compared to us. Only getting 37. I'm not sure it's worth it. And he's trying to lay down some mines, but they now brought an anti-tank gun up. And guess what? That's the perfect counter to take out the bunkers. And if he doesn't get his guys out of here quickly, they're gonna die. So he's getting kind of pushed back here, and he's trying to, like, if the gun was turned a little bit more, he could actually suppress those grenadiers. But he's in trouble right here, where at the risk, he lost his MG squad in there with the risk of losing this northern flank. So I'm talking to Fry, I'm like, what the hell's going on? Because it seems like he's floating munitions or something. It seems like he's like floating people. But he's bringing a lot more guys in. I guess, you know what he's doing? He was kind of helping defend this area. It's not good, though. He's got a, I think I was talking to him, like, because he was getting this, they're pretty much flanking this whole northern area. I don't know why they withdrew their gun, but I guess they don't want to be in the water. So I'm moving up my sniper. I've used this a couple times just on the river. And great thing to kill the MG cruiser snipers. And he's not in, the MG's not in range, so I can just keep picking away at the MG crew. I can see I've just gotten the joint operations doctrine, or defensive doctrine, and that's going to allow me to get the PaK 43 and the howitzer along with the light artillery barrage. So very defensive, great for this map, I think. Especially if the game goes really long, you can get some, if you put up a PaK like around this area and then you get a howitzer, you can pretty much stop him. There's no way to stop you pretty much. This crew's down to 2 and then he withdraws. And my guy misses. He's not perfect. But if this crew comes up here, they're in trouble. So my sniper's kind of single-handedly holding that flank. Fry does like his scout car, so he's bringing up his scout car. He's got to be careful with that, though. So they're kind of building their own defenses on this side, but we have the victory point, so it seems like they might be preparing a rush through here. I mean, the bad thing about my barbed wire here is that a scout car could easily run it over, and they could completely come around our flank, but I can turn. Also, it's about 8 minutes in. I'm worried about a Russian scout car. Look at my dumb sniper. I told him to go on this side of the wall and shoot that guy, but he couldn't do it, so he comes around to the other side, shoots it, almost dies. So I've got to kind of pull back. By the way, I'm building my support armor corps. So I'm saving up now for a Panzer IV, but I'm not going to build a medical bunker. Let's upgrade these guys. Since we have enough munitions, I like to upgrade my grenadiers to the MG42. I'm going to upgrade some fuel here. Like, I didn't think they were going to really push. It seemed like their main effort was in the north, so yes, nothing was in the south protecting that last victory point, but you can see how it wasn't really worth going after it. Maybe I should have built a bunker here, got an MG up, or just have my guys just pretty much sit in there. That's good for getting, by the way, that's good for getting your troops in cover during winter. I've got to figure out how to heal my sniper, because I'm not sending him back there. I want this guy to like load, so I'm gonna put a bunker down somewhere. As you can see, a PaK 43 only costs 480 manpower, and a howitzer costs 6. So huge Russian charge here. It looks like his guys must have, though, the disposal thing. So I'm trying to turn, but I'm getting kind of overwhelmed. I'm kind of moving my guys around. I was ready for this scout car, but my guy missed. He's doing the light infantry barrage, and I'm trying to get my MG out of there. He's in deep trouble. looks like he put a demolition charge here. So, I mean, I don't understand the point of trying to blow up this bridge, to be honest, because it doesn't benefit him. He had another way to flank us, and now he's just putting his options of 3 places to attack to 1. I don't quite understand that. Fry's got the half-track. If you can upgrade the half-track with a Flam Warfer, you can actually easily get around anti-tank guns and just fry their crews. So as you can see, I put my medical bunker here to heal any troops that are nearby. So it's going to heal my MG squad as I reinforce. I got to get my sniper back up. I'm being overwhelmed in the center. Thankfully, Fry's here also to help support. They do have an MG up here. I don't understand the MG that far back, but they do have a lot of MGs. They leave themselves open. You know, that 10-minute window I was talking about is about when you should be getting your first tank. Germans about a Panzer IV, SU or T-34, whichever you prefer. For the Russians, I prefer the SU-85. Also, I would always suggest making an SU-85 before you make an SU-76, because it's always better to have that anti-tank versus if they get their Panzer IV out and you have that SU-76, it's gonna die. Once again, not a huge fan of the Stug. Huge fan of the Panzer IV, though. I'm just saving up for the manpower. I'm going to immediately call that in as soon as I can. Come on, call it in. So, my sniper's kind of hanging out by the MG. Also, this was after we played. Actually, this is before we played the Mince Pocket. But you don't want to keep your snipers or your MGs are high targets of opportunity. So you definitely don't want to keep your snipers by there. Fry's just trying to kind of box off part of this area, but with the anti-tank gun and the mortar, you know, here's what they were doing. I think soon they're going to result to they already have an 82mm mortar. They're going to mortar spam us. As you can see, not necessarily a new player. Gingerman has an SU-85 out within 12 minutes. My Panzer IV is coming out. The question is, will he use it like a true tank destroyer, or will he forget that it's not a tank and use it, you know, as a tank, thinking it has the armor and maneuverability, which it doesn't. So my sniper's up here, kind of observing. If we take out the fog of war, I can't see the SU-85. Now, once again, boldly charging up like it's a tank. Not going to do too good against an anti-tank gun. As you can see, we're still hitting it with anti-tank. My sniper's here. I think he's not shooting at a tank. And, you know, the SU-85 just gets destroyed. That's 115 fuel. And this early, it's not good to lose an SU-85. Anyway, my Panzer IV is out. They do have their anti-tank gun, which actually manages to move up. Once again, I can't see it. But now I can, so I'm going to try to get into the cover and start picking off that anti-tank gun crew. But it keeps going in and out of the fog of war, so my guy can't get a shot on it necessarily. You can see I'm rocking a new camo, or a different camo for the Panzer IV there. I'm angry right now. They're doing a good job because they're mortaring the hell out of me. But I'm kind of fighting back against the mortars. I'm trying to go after this anti-tank gun, but it does its cloaking ability, so it goes invisible. But they're trying to desperately build this sandbag defense up. They destroyed it with their SU-85. This guy's behind the tank, which the MG's shooting at, so he's fine. He's actually taking some shots at some of those guys. But, you know, about now, I've done my damage. My sniper's being an idiot, like running up so far. I gotta pull back. That's a veteran C2 crew. So I'm gonna pull back, and Fry's offering to give me a quick repair. You gotta play this strategically. You know, that's 115 fuel. They already blew their chance with that. Meanwhile, they're bringing up a half track. I think it's kind of interesting. I never see the half tracks really. So that kind of explains what they have. Is that a T-70 light tank? This could actually do a lot of good if they brought it around here and attacked my fuel, because I don't really have anything to stop that. I have to bring back my Panzer IV. Once again, these guys do not have the waste disposal kit, so they cannot, pretty sure it's called that, hazardous removal package. They cannot remove the barbed wire, so that's a That's definitely worth. They have like they're floating in like 500 munitions, and their doctrines aren't really that heavy in the munitions. Oh yes. Oh, they got a rocket launcher. They have a Katushka. Ooh, nice. Surprisingly, they're not using their fuel for tanks. They're using it for Katushkas and a ton of anti-tanks. So look at this tank. This little T-70 boldly goes, or no T-70's gone before. It bursts right through mine and Fry's lines there, and it's going to eat a Panzer IV and a Stug. So, you know, it's a good harassment idea, but definitely in the south where I don't have as many defenses. I'm like, oh my gosh, now we're going to catch on fire. But that MG42, equipped with my Grenadiers, I mean, it's just going to die. There's no question about it. And we also have our sniper here. So now they're using the half-track. Once again, right into the tank, damaged engine. He does have some conscripts here. They die, but he also had some Penal Battalion, and I'm probably going to lose this, to be honest. I got to pull my pack back. My mortar's almost dead. My mortar died. Katushka comes in. I got another anti-tank gun. I got my Panzer IV coming in. Their infantry is getting suppressed. Way on my MG I managed to turn. But other than that, very costly for me. I lost a mortar and also 2 pack guns. So I'm thinking in my head right now, they want to play this artillery game. See, they got the Katushka, and it's pretty safe, or so they think. And then they got the 2 anti-tank guns to stop me from advancing with my Panzer IV, and I know that. I know they have some sort of defenses there. There's where my mortar guy ran off the side of the map here. My sniper's kind of hiding by the tree here, and I realize these guys got heavily injured, so I got to pull them back. Fry's doing a flanking attack here, going after the guns, and he's actually going right after the Katushka instead. Actually, not the guns, he's going after the Katushka, it looks like. But as you can see, heavily, there's a lot of anti-tank guns here just for his Stug. You can see the flaming half-track is doing a great job of just decimating these anti-tank guns. You can see the double flames, so deadly. But it's very vulnerable when the anti-tank gun turns. And he's trying to get it out of there. Anyway, his Stug blew up. Probably due to this AT gun. Or one of the AT guns. So he turned his AT gun onto the enemy to turn the AT gun to take out his half-track. Brian's trying to steal some of their anti-tank guns, which is not a bad idea. But I'm calling a light artillery barrage around here, trying to just kill some of these guns. I got a second Panzer IV out. About now, I'm kind of feeling like, okay, I'm worried about SUs because I think that cool T-34 skin, because he's a collector. Anyway, the SUs at this range, if they were sitting here, they could probably take out a lot of our guys. Fry rolls up a mortar half-track. Probably a little too far. It's a half-track after all. But we have a huge attack coming here. And Fry has nothing to defend this. So, I wish we had a little more defenses over there. Yeah, look, he's floating 1,300 manpower. So I tried to grab the pack also. Oh, that's right. That's his pack or whatever. So he's floating a lot of manpower. It almost seems like he's not there at the amount of manpower he's floating. I don't know, but he's really got to make some stuff. I'm not sure. Maybe he's going. You know what he's doing? He's let's look at his. He might be floating this for a Panther. I'm not sure, but you probably need something more because our flank was completely exposed. With our combined effort here, of just, you know, kind of disrupting their attack, they had to pull back. Also, we heavily damaged their T-34, and my Panzer IV took it out. So now it's Veterancy 1, and it does have Blitzkrieg, which is very good for getting around Su-85s, by the way. By the way, they also they're starting to push through my lines here. I like that they have the heavy MG, but they really should have just cleared some holes in the barbed wire here instead of having to go around. I should have fixed that, but I like the idea of kind of like coming really close to the base. But I've got troops here. I mean, it's just a bunch of infantry, and I can also pull back my tanks. Now I was very worried about these guys getting mowed down as they retreat. So I did upgrade them 60 munitions. But we're actually killing some of these guys with the MG42. I'm launching a rifle grenade on that big blob of infantry, and my artillery is going down, light artillery barrage. So if they don't get out of here along with the panzers, this attack is going to be utterly destroyed. So they got like a couple seconds to get out of here. And as you can see, with the Panzer Grenadiers coming out, that's a lot of dead conscripts. And there's one guy trying to run, and he runs right into my Pioneers. Will they get him? Nope, but the Grenadiers did. So he just lost 2 conscript squads and an MG squad. Look at all these dead guys right here. That barrage, that rifle grenade, and the tanks and stuff, just completely killed them. I want to keep my some more veteran troops back here, and I got to move my tanks back up to the front. Once again, it seems like the whole game they were harassing me with mortars, which is good. It's good to be using the mortars on this map, especially in the 82. At least they're wearing 120mm mortars. But my sniper is actually trying to pick off some of these mortar guys. I'm very happy about that. I hate these mortars. Got another one too. And I think they're actually going right after my some of my guys here, but it looks like they're actually firing up here. So Fryforce has to pull back his mortar half-track versus being destroyed. There's a lot of our MGs up here and mortars. So our allies are fighting. Our enemies are kind of fighting a little. I like the idea of these attacks on the flanks, but they really should have done some more to kind of flank up around here with some armor, because I was very vulnerable, and they already saw that, how vulnerable I was. But we really don't have a lot defending the center. But I think they're forgetting that the half-tracks are half-tracks. I mean, it's a half-track, you know, it's not exactly a tank, and they're kind of treating it like a tank, just charging it in. So I got the Panzer IVs. Now, if they were trying to lead me, my Panzer IVs to try to take out that half-track, you know, and they had SUs or something flank me as I'm pushing it against it, that would have been very, very good. But they're really destroying me here. So I haven't used any of my doctrine either, like my artillery. That's what the plan was, you know. I wanted to use my artillery, maybe have some packs or something, but with that Katushka, I don't really see a point. I also have the guards rifle there, actually doing some damage. They're doing a huge attack over here. Let's see if Fry's still floating that amount of manpower. He's not anymore. He's getting some Panzer Grenadiers. More like some elite infantry. But I mean, with the Panzer tracks will be fine. They're buttoning my vehicles because there's 2 Panzers now. They're gonna do a whole lot. And after that failed attack there, their center's very weak. They just have a Katushka here. They got another T-34. 76. I mean, they're good in numbers, but they're pretty cheap actually to produce. Let's just go double check the not Fryforce. Let's go check what a T-34 costs. Gingerman skipped. That's right. Gingerman's the SU guy, and Phileo Styles is the other way. He's the T-34. T-34s are 95 fuel. If they hadn't gone some heavy on munitions, this could have been a different battle. Anyway, huge attack coming from the north. It's kind of been halted a little bit, but as you can see, their Panzer Shreks are being decimated. He does have a Panzer IV though, which could finish off that T-34. Oh, this is kind of interesting. They got their SU around the flanks like I was talking about before, and I was so scared it was going to take out my my artillery I just built. And you know, they're launching their Katushka rockets. Let's see how many kills this thing's actually got. Only 6. 2 vehicles though. So I need to go help Fry, and he's gonna ram, and that exhaust damage, but ramming almost 100% of the time. Exo is actually worth it for the field, but ramming almost 100% of the time mobilizes your T-34, so make sure you have some engineers if you're gonna do that. And if you're gonna sacrifice one, make sure you can finish off the other one. Make sure you can finish off the other tank you're ramming, because T-34s are pretty cheap in fuel compared. They're 20 fuel cheaper than a and manpower-wise, cheaper than a Panzer IV. We have this heavy force here, and I'm throwing a bundle grenade, just trying to kill this MG so I can advance. I have no problem taking out these artillery guns. You know, we threw smoke down, or Fry Smooth threw smoke down, so they wouldn't be able to launch their light artillery barrage close enough, so I can rush my infantry in. Meanwhile, we got another half track. This is their third half track they've had, and that's a lot of fuel they're throwing down the drain. My sniper did shoot at a half track, which isn't very smart because this car's not going to do that. I got 15 kills with him now. So Fry's launching his own assault with just a Panzer Grenadier spam. So I wouldn't call it a spam per se, but there's a lot of Panzer Grenadiers here. It's like 3. But that was a very good attack. I mean, I had to withdraw my guys. He just kept advancing, but they got Panzerfaust. I mean, you should really... I'm calling a barrage right here to kind of stop the advancing infantry. I probably should have called it along here. But that'll stop any attack temporarily. You see the water kicking up and everything. They're getting so desperate to try to take this center victory point that they are moving up their 82mm mortar a lot. They really pushed us back. But I'm shooting my artillery. Counter barrage, interesting. But I'm shooting my artillery at the Katushka. And I think it's actually dead, believe it or not. Yeah, I destroyed their Katushka with it. So that's good. I destroyed the enemy vehicle with it. Also, my troops just overall, like getting Veteran C2 Grenadiers now, they're a lot better. I like how they kept fighting this whole time. Once again, shock troops not the best troops to take out tanks. That's like the beginning of the campaign there. So they do have a Panzerfaust. This combat engineer does have, but they're getting kind of desperate. I mean, we didn't have 497 points right now. Like, that's how I have, like, lost pretty much nothing. Once again, 2 heavies on the Su-76s, not heavy on the Su-85, not understanding what the Su-85 was about, and the Katushka. Some good ideas with the Katushka, but wasn't used properly and was able to get counter barrage rather easily once I was able to get the resources. Once again, though, this is the good side we were on. So I got a Panzer IV. I'm sorry, a Panther. What am I thinking? I got a Panther now. I'm repairing my Veteran Z2 Panzer IV, which looks pretty awesome, to be honest. It takes reduced damage when it gets hit. I've teched back almost and got another MG42 to help cover this center. But I'm really not too worried. They're trying to bombard us with these SUs. It's really not doing a whole lot. They've also had these mortars, like, I know it doesn't seem like a spam, but there's quite a few mortars bombing this side of the river. I would have tried to repair this bridge. I mean, the number one thing you can do when playing for on the other side where the Soviets were, he's trying to build a mine there. Number one thing you can do is you want to make as many routes open as possible to flank these guys, because if you can cut them off here with this bridge or in the south, you know, you just got to really push them in multiple points. If you're only going after this point and we can defend this point and this point, we're pretty much set if you've destroyed that bridge. Like, I wanted to destroy that bridge, but I didn't have demo charges. The Germans don't have that. Which is kind of funny, because they probably blew up as many bridges to keep the Soviets out as the Russians did. So I don't like that they're conscripts here, and they are starting to take down our points a little bit. So 4 conscripts just died inside that building. And we got to get some infantry up there. I have my infantry kind of protecting this center here. Once again, they sent their SUs up like tanks. It's not a tank. This is kind of like an artillery platform, and that's abandoned, so I can maybe crew that if I want. But, I mean, I have a feeling the game's going to be over soon, so I don't really think there's a real point. They pretty much lost everything except some mortar and some shock troops here. Ridiculously expensive for troops of that quality. Very good, but expensive. Yeah, so those mortars now taking this back over. In fact, his whole army's kind of grouped up taking this over. Once again, your men don't capture points faster. Oh, is that a bombing run? Oh, it was smoke. By the way, your troops do not capture stuff faster with more of them on it. That's a new person mistake. So he went... Oh, he went like support. I think it's Festung support doctrine. Like, I kind of know the doctrines I like, but don't exactly know all their names. I don't know if that's a bad thing or not, but we've taken that over. And they pretty much don't have anything to stop us. I mean, they got some shock troops, but once again, 1 Panther, I mean, can do that. They're throwing smoke, which is nice to see, but they just have anti-personnel and smoke grenades. I've also got my Panzer IV Veteran C2 there. As you can see, I have 4 Panzer IVs. Like, I've had the feel. I can't get a Tiger. I don't feel like teching up and getting some heavy Panzers. Some heavy, maybe a Panther or some other heavy tanks. But that's fine. I love my Panzer IVs, and to this point, there hasn't been a lot of SUs to challenge them. Still keeping a decent amount of infantry over here, just to stop. I should have probably pushed. I'm not sure if they're mines. Are those my mines? Yeah, those are my mines. So they're starting to... I think they marked my target here of this vehicle. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's marked target, but they don't really need to stop it. I mean, they just have a mortar, so I'm just like, well, I got 4... By the way, my MGs are shooting at their airplane. I'm like, well, I got 4 Panzer IVs. And by the way, we just shot down that airplane. The Katushka's coming. They built another Katushka. You pretty much lost your front line. You have nothing to stop me, and you're calling a Katushka in? That makes no sense. Like, they should have had some SUs, some more T-34s. They shouldn't have gone so heavy with the artillery on this map. And by the way, my artillery is shooting back at them. I'm not sure what they're trying to hit. Oh, I killed their mortar. That's right. They had a mortar over here. This mortar's killed quite a lot of Germans. I guess 7. So Fry's coming across the bridge, the narrow waters. I think I'm trying to repair this tank. I think I'm getting my tanks ready for an all-out assault on their base. So you can see, don't go too heavy artillery. Make sure you get some more tanks. I mean, we're 30 minutes into the game. As you can see, these shock troops will do a lot of damage. A non-veterancy shock troop will beat a non-veterancy Panzer Grenadier. I mean, look how many Panzer Grenadiers. They also threw their own grenade, which actually hurt them. Once again, though, very vulnerable to tanks. And it's always worth it to upgrade your MG42 on your tanks if you can. You have the munitions. So guess what we're going for? This damn Katusha. He killed 1 soldier. He's 95 He's 95 fuel. Remember that? 95 fuel for that. Anyway, we just blew up that mortar. Very happy to see that thing go. And they're bringing another mortar in. Like, I don't understand the logic of the mortars. I mean, they have no front line to stop any kind of blitzkrieg, which is what we're kind of doing. Like, I'm not using the ability, but we are massive amount of tanks just overwhelming the Soviet positions. I'm also bringing some MGs to help kind of suppress these guys. And I'm going after that mortar. I'm like, nope, you're not going to set up again. There you go, he's gone now. They're doing another Katusha barrage. I do have an anti-tank gun. It threw smoke down to kind of cover the retreat, but it also made it so their anti-tank gun couldn't position itself. We're doing mark target now. I'm focusing all my tanks right on this anti-tank gun. They have no coverage. They don't have the heavy thing. They just got wiped out because their back was to us. Once again, Su-76 is good against infantry, not good against tanks. So those guys just got destroyed. They got another SU coming on. Like, I don't understand the logic. They've made some very intelligent moves in this game. Some other not so intelligent moves. But once again, you know, the Su-76 good against infantry, not good against tanks. So keep that in mind when you play. And you go with the Soviet strategy of skipping the Tavion Battalion Command. You go right for the SUs with the Mechanized Armor Company. So they surrendered there. Good game to our opponents. Remember on this map, don't go too heavy on mortars. Get more tanks, and watch out for the narrow choke points. I could have used this, I guess. Anyway, according to 2 on side, we enjoyed this part.